Accident report? I thought you said you'd done your paperwork.
When I'm 100.
Maggie, how did it go?
They cleared me of all responsibility for the accident.
Foregone conclusion.
Well, I suppose I had to go through the motions.
That's good news. You'd be happy to have it over and done with, eh?
Oh, thanks, boss. They made it as easy as they could.
Well, they proved the other guy was on the wrong side of the road and out of control. I mean, I don't even know why you had to be put on the rack at all.
Anyway, just drop it, shall we?
Think she's okay? Oh, I bet you're glad that's over. Now you can leave it behind.
Unfortunately, it isn't that simple.
Well, it has to be. I mean, you did your job. I was sitting right next to you and there was nothing that you could do to avoid that accident.
All those people dead.
We saved more people than we lost.
Yeah,
It's all right. Here you go.
Hey, Mags.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Sorry.
Hey, Em.
Oh, hello, Princess. How are you?
Is Amy here yet?
No, she's not coming today. She's coming tomorrow, remember?
Who's Amy? Friend from school?
She teaches me.
Oh, yuck, teachers.
No, not this one. Amy is 13 and she's a great tutor, isn't she?
Yeah. And she's going to show me how to draw a Queen Anne this big for my presentation. Anyway, I'll need some more coloured pencils.
What do you mean? You've got hundreds of the things.
Amy!
The door was open. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure, it's fine. I just thought you had something else on today. Your parents know you're here? Right. Look, I'll give them a quick ring, just let them know where you are.
No. I'm not going back there. I hate them. I never want to see them again.
Okay.
All I want, Claire, is a fair settlement.
What's going on?
You stay here, please.
I want to see
You
Amy.
just do as I say.
Give me that, Claire.
You want it? Have it!
Right! Yeah, come on. Smash it! Smash every bloody thing! Mr. and Mrs. Fordham. Mr. and Mrs. Fordham. Broken. Like our marriage. Been broken for years, only you didn't wake up.
Well, I'm awake now.
Give me that, Claire. That is mine. I paid for it. I want it.
Of course it
That's
is.
enough.
Silly me!
You are a complete bitch.
Perfect bastard. Only nobody's perfect.
This girl is hurt.
What?
Do you have any idea what you're doing?
Here, Amy, you let me... Get away from me!
She doesn't want you, you cold-hearted bitch. Come on, darling.
No! Oh, Daddy lost his magic touch, has
At
he?
least I've always been there for her.
Yes, and I've been there for you.
When? When was the last
Please,
time
every
you were
time
here
you've
for
ever gone
me?
anywhere.
Mr. and Mrs. Fordham, that's enough.
Here,
Get
I'll take care of you.
away!
No, I'll take care of her. What? Look, your daughter has just been injured as a direct result of your actions. Now, I intend to remove her from this situation.
You can't do that.
Actually, sir, yes, I can. Amy, come with me.
Oh, Amy. You look like you've been in the wars.
Mum got me at the bars.
I was just about to grab a snack, Amy. Do you want to grab something? We've got some bickies and some Milo over here. So.
So where are the parents now?
Oh, they're at home. I had to take her to hospital.
What are you proposing to do?
Well, actually, I'd like to contact the DHS and apply for a protection application.
Why not talk to the Fordhams first? They may have calmed down.
Neither of us would hurt Amy on purpose.
The fact remains she was hurt and you didn't even realise it.
Yes, I know. Look, there is no excuse. I feel dreadful.
Absolutely. Look, if I'd known Amy... Have these sort of incidents occurred in the past? We have our fights. There's nothing unusual in that.
Well, there is when your children get hurt by them.
The question is, if we send her home, is she still going to be in danger?
She's not in danger.
Absolutely not. Look, Claire and I have our differences, but we love our daughter. Ask anyone.
Please, we just wanted to come home.
This won't happen again, will it, Claire?
No, of course not.
Look, I just don't want to send that girl home with them.
The parents seem genuinely remorseful and quite able to care for
They
the child.
seem to be, but what I saw at their place was scary.
It was an accident.
It was vicious, like she was cold-blooded. And I don't think she could have stopped herself if she wanted to.
All have fights.
Yeah, not like this. This was like they're in combat almost. They were throwing things at each other.
I'm not questioning your judgment, but
We don't have the grounds to interfere.
The girl is in jeopardy, boss.
Then contact DHS and pass it on to them and do it now. But until we have something to go on, we have to send her home.
We used to have fun, Dad and me, and Mum when she wasn't travelling.
Is there anyone else that you can talk to?
I used to get on really well with Megan until...
Who's Megan?
My dad's secretary. When Mum was away, we'd do stuff together. And I'd pretend she was my big sister and that sort of thing.
Look, if ever you need someone, I am always here for you, OK?
Me too.
OK, let's go home.
Why?
Parents are waiting for you.
They don't care. They wouldn't care if I died.
Not going home?
No, I've been finishing off a bit of work.
Feels like you've been hiding from me.
Oh, I've been out on the job, Mag, since you got back. You've probably been a bit too busy to notice, though.
I just came in to tell you that I'm taking some leave starting tomorrow.
Leave?
Yeah, the boss has approved it.
Well, it's got to do with Ben?
No, what would it have anything to do with Ben?
Well, it's just that I saw
No, it's
you.
Dad. He's fallen off the wagon and Evie's not coping too well. She tried to get him into some treatment. It's not working and basically it's a bit of a mess. If someone doesn't do something to help him, he's going to kill himself.
Hey, Maggie, listen, I'm sorry. I really didn't know.
Yeah, maybe you should give us both some credit before you start jumping to conclusions.
Sorry I couldn't get back to you last night.
No, that's OK. So what'd you find out?
The usual stuff. Quiet withdrawn at school, been late a few times. Look, Ben, you know I'm not doubting you, but she is a teenager. Sometimes things get blown out of proportion.
No, she was injured yesterday.
You said it was an accident.
Eric, come on, mate. I thought you would understand.
I do. I don't want her in that house any more than you do if she's in physical danger.
No, it is way past if.
All right. Well, let me talk to her and the parents, and then we'll decide on the best course of action to take.
OK, good night.
Hello, stranger.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hiya.
Lawson, good to see you back.
Good to be back, boss.
Hey, Ben. How was everything?
Oh, yeah, it was good. It was a really good funeral. A nice tribute to Molly and all that. Her mum's taking it pretty hard, though.
How are you taking it?
Me, I'm fine, yeah. Just want to get back to work.
Well, if there's anything, don't hesitate.
Thanks, boss.
Hey, Jacko. Nice to see you. Welcome back. Thanks, mate.
Just give us a call, excuse me.
All right, thank you very much for that, Miss Hutton. Yeah, we'll take care of it from here. Thanks. Coldberg out at the Fordham factory.
Right, I'll take that.
Do you mind if I tag along?
Sure.
Good.
Megan Hutton, I'm Mr. Fordham's assistant and bookkeeper.
How do you do? I'm Senior Detective Hashem.
Acting Sergeant Stewart.
I understand you had some material stolen.
Oh, it's not just any material. It's an original hand-painted fabric by Mr. Fordham. It's the best he's done. It's worth over $12,000.
Is all your material that expensive?
Well, not all, but this one's special. We've got a huge overseas order because of it.
Only the one bolt?
Yeah, it's irreplaceable.
It'll be sold for market value?
It's pretty distinctive, I doubt it.
Well, could somebody be sabotaging the order?
I don't know what to think.
Well, when did you discover that it was actually missing?
When I went looking for it this morning, shortly after I arrived, about 8:45.
Can you tell me when you actually last saw the material?
Last night, just before I left.
Right. And is there any sign of forced entry here this morning?
No, I don't think so.
Well, who would have access to the building overnight?
Cleaners, security, the Fordhams, me, and one or two of the staff have keys. Well, we're a pretty keen bunch. We tend to work odd hours sometimes.
Is there a problem?
Don, the blue iris has disappeared.
What?
Mr. Fordham, this is Detective Hashem.
It wasn't here this morning.
Of course it wasn't. I'm afraid you gentlemen have been brought out on a wild goose chase. I took it home with me last night.
But we went...
You really should have spoken to me before you phoned the police.
I'm sorry.
Apologies to you guys, too. I'm sure your time is valuable.
I don't believe that he took that material home. You heard him. She said one thing and he just jumped in and said another.
He's a boss. It's the way of the world.
Come on, there's more to it than that.
Ben, I got enough to do, all right?
Look, there was a lot of aggression at the Fordham house last night. There's problems between him and his wife.
It's not our territory.
No, not
Drop
yet.
it.
It's not.
Look, the complaint has been dropped, so you just forget it, eh?
You ready?
Oh, yeah, sure. Come in.
How's this, right? I spoke to Dad last night.
Yeah?
He's just finished doing this job and this bloke's ringing back and said he's not
Joe,
paying for a cent.
Keys, I'll drive. I just want to swing by the Fordhams first.
What are you doing? Crazy bitch!
Just keep out of my way!
Pay for this!
I already have, I just want my half!
You are not!
If you 50 on, that's what you wanted, isn't
Look,
it?
this isn't helping anything. Turn the chainsaw off. Come on. Come on, turn it off.
Well, there you are. Let's see how you go sailing that.
Shared ownership of something does not include the right to destroy it. Now, Mrs. Fordham, you knew that we couldn't just stand by and let that incident pass, so why did you go ahead and do it?
You've been completely betrayed.
That still doesn't explain why you would destroy your own property.
Doesn't it? 9 weeks ago, I came back from Japan, having just signed the biggest deal of our careers, to discover that he and Miss Mealymouth have been playing star-crossed lovers. And I'm the demon bitch from hell.
Mrs. Fordham, we understand how you feel,
I
but...
would have been happy to have listened to any excuse. But he just calmly asked me for a divorce and said he wanted to continue in the business 50-50. He even had a document for me to sign. Fine, I said. Let's start with this piece of paper. And I tore it in half.
As much as we might sympathise, it still doesn't give you the right to set about cutting up the boat.
25 years we've been together. And not so much as I'm sorry.
Mrs. Fordham, you could find yourself faced with charges of criminal damage.
Have you charged her?
Well, wouldn't it be better if you could work out some way of resolving the dispute without that?
Don't think I haven't tried that.
You're still living with your wife?
Look, I've told Claire I'll move out as soon as she comes to her senses and agrees to a reasonable settlement.
Well, maybe she needs time. I mean, it's always a difficult thing when any marriage falls apart, but not everybody goes to war.
Hey, I didn't start the war, but I've found someone who appreciates my talent, who won't stomp on my creative energy every chance she gets. Claire just won't accept that.
Mr. Fordham, what do you want?
It's simple. I want to settle this thing, or I want her charged.
You mean if I sign his wretched piece of paper, agreeing to settle for 50-50, then I'm off the hook for damaging the boat?
It's just about the gist of it, yes.
OK, go ahead. Charge me.
Oh, Mrs. Fordham,
But at the
please.
same time, you charge him for fraud.
Fraud?
Company fraud. Cheques written to buy Megan gifts and entered as company expenses.
This accusation isn't going to help anyone.
Are you refusing to investigate?
No, of course not. We'll look
Fine,
into it.
then nail
As
him.
long as you...
Nail him!
You are a bitch.
All right,
You
already.
never think first, do you? Not with your brain, anyway.
Mrs. Fordham, please. You may receive a summons in due course. In the meantime, could you please stay out of each other's way for the next few days?
Eric.
Amy.
Mr. Fordham, Eric Senius, Department of Human Services.
What's going on?
What is this?
Amy and I have had a talk. She can't handle the situation at home and she no longer wants to live there. We intend making application to the court.
What? No, get away from me. I don't want you as my parents anymore. I'm divorcing you both.
Oh, divorce, that's ridiculous. What would you do? Where would you go?
To someone who actually cares who I am, Mum. I want Ben to be my guardian.
You're a police member. You cannot be involved. And she is a 13-year-old girl, for God's sake. It's totally inappropriate.
But she trusts me. I don't want to let her down.
Then you should have thought of that before.
Look, this was not my idea, by the way.
So why did Amy say you offered?
I don't know. A misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding, not something you and Eric cooked up.
No, of course
Because if
not.
I find out you initiated
Look,
this,
I
I'll have
didn't.
your
I
guts
wanted to help
regarded.
the situation. And this does anything but.
So what did you say to her?
Just that Emma and I were her friends and that we'd always be there for her.
You're going to have to talk to her.
So, Amy, the best place for you right now might be at home.
I thought you were going to help me.
Well, I want to. I do. Of course I do. But it wouldn't be the right thing. And besides, it's against the rules. I'm sorry.
You lied!
Amy, no, I didn't.
No.
Amy,
It's going to take some time to get a hearing in court. You've no other family to go to. Foster care's an option.
I don't want to be with people I don't know. Nobody ever listens to me. I want to stay here.
Amy, a policeman can't act as your guardian. It's against regulations.
You said you'd always be here for me.
Amy, I'm sorry, but we have to find some way for you to stay at home. So Amy's just got something to say.
Sure.
Go on.
I'll come home, but only if you promise to stop fighting with Dad.
Oh, Amy, darling. The last thing I ever wanted to do was to hurt you.
But whether you meant it or not, these arguments, they've just got to stop.
Yeah, well, You won't get any more trouble out of me.
Look, I think that what Amy's trying to say is that she doesn't care who's starting these arguments. She just wants to see an end to them.
Well, if you just charge my husband...
Oh, Mrs. Fordham, please.
OK. In the meantime, no more flying porcelain.
Good.
OK. Promise, sweetheart.
This fraud business. He wouldn't be the first bloke to fiddle with the company checkbooks to buy his girlfriend gifts.
Oh, I know, but I just hate being put in the position where I have to do Claire's dirty work for her.
Their personal problems don't really enter into this. There's been a complaint, we have to look into it. Now, if you'd rather somebody else handled it...
No. I'm right.
Yeah, Don's given me gifts from time to time, yeah.
Like,
Like jewellery, clothing, that sort of thing.
would he have done that for other employees?
Well, I'm not other employees.
No.
These all the checkbooks?
Yes, and this is a complete crock.
Your wife has alleged you're misusing company funds. We're going to have to subpoena the return checks from the bank.
She's finally found a way of getting at me.
Is that an admission?
Of course not. Look, there may be the odd discrepancy.
We're talking fraud here.
I'll give it all back.
It's all right, Megan.
Don, look, I don't want you getting in trouble over this. They're just things. They're not important. If I return everything and I put the money back into the company account, will that solve the problem?
I'd really like to help you, but I'm sorry it's too late.
We'll be in touch.
Oh, this is going to take forever.
Oh, well, didn't your career guidance counsellor tell you there's going to be days like today? So,
Mount Charles Police Station, Constable Perry speaking.
Well, odds on that Don Fordham's been on
Right,
the fiddle.
Mr. Fordham. Yeah, we'll get out there as soon as possible. I thought I'd be glad to say this, but there's another domestic at the Fordhams.
I knew she was cold-blooded, vindictive, but this...
All right, that's enough, Mr. Fordham. Just calm down and tell us exactly what happened.
What's happened is she has ruined everything we've been working towards. I found the Blue Iris. Thousands of dollars worth up in smoke.
Well, it wouldn't have been worth a cent if I hadn't sold the concept to the Japanese.
That's the first thing you can think of, isn't it? What about the hundreds of hours that I've put in working?
All right, let's quieten down, all right? Mrs. Fordham, did you have anything to do with this?
If you're asking me, did I burn it? Yes, I did.
Amy, do you know something about this?
She doesn't know anything about it. Look, I'm admitting to it, OK? So just charge me.
Jacko, if you find anything sus, we'll subpoena the originals.
Criminal damage, Claire. Let's call it what it is.
Well, if anyone knows criminal behaviour, it's you, isn't it?
Anyone knows how to be a cold, unyielding bitch, it's you.
All right, you two, that's enough. Need I remind you that your daughter's present?
Hasn't made much difference up till now.
Now what is it?
Well, the missing fabric that wasn't missing, Mrs. Fordham has admitted to destroying it.
And I want her charged.
Go ahead, charge me.
Would you two just shut up?
What's going to happen to Mum?
Well, that depends. She could be charged, then after that, it's up to the courts. Amy, look, you know before when I asked you if you knew anything about the material?
I don't.
Well, look, if you do remember anything, please make sure that you come to me and tell me.
This is a complete waste of time, Senior Sergeant.
At last, something we agree on.
Just charge me so I can get out of here.
You will be receiving a summons.
Amy, come on.
Amy, you know where we are.
I think you've caused enough trouble acting, Sergeant. You just stay away from my daughter. Come on.
All right, come and keep your shirt on. Stuart? You're kidding. Yeah, right, I'm on my way. I'll pick up Jack. Okay, see you soon.
What's happened?
Oh, darling, I've got to go out. Do you want to put your dressing gown on? I'll drop you at Chris's place.
Yeah.
God, any idea how it started?
No, nothing yet.
Stuart?
It's Amy's.
Do you think she's still there?
Well, until we get some more information.
Arson squad are still searching through the remains of the factory.
If she is, she would have suffered terribly.
Glenn, when did you see her last?
Earlier tonight, about 8:30, she went out.
By herself?
Yeah.
Did she take a bike?
She always does whenever.
Whenever what?
When we fight.
How could we have done this? I promised Amy that I wouldn't fight with her father in front of her again. I just hadn't realised how badly it affected her. But we did fight, and now she's gone.
Well, that's true. Right now, we don't know where Amy is. But do you think that Amy could have started the fire?
She might have just cleared off somewhere. Couldn't blame her.
No. Look, you did all you could.
I could have kept her safe.
You were never going to have her with you. I wouldn't have allowed it.
I promised her that I would be there for her, and I wasn't. Oh, good morning, sweetheart. How are you? Did you sleep okay at Chris's?
She was fine, and she's had breakfast.
Oh,
She gave me
great.
scrambled eggs and toast.
Oh, lucky you.
Is Amy here yet?
Not yet, Em.
Oh, she was going to come early to help me finish my presentation.
Look, darling, I think that she might not be able to make it today.
Why not? She promised.
Well, look, there was a fire at her parents' factory last night, and Amy's gone missing.
Is she dead?
No, well, we don't know, but we hope not.
Oh, I don't want to go to school. I feel sick.
Sweetheart, I know, but she's going to be okay. She'll be fine. Now, best thing for you right now is to be at school with your friends.
No, it won't.
Look, what about your presentation? You don't want to miss out on that, do you?
It's not finished.
Well, I bet you've done enough already. Why don't you come and show me and I'll have a look at it for
That's
you?
a good idea. You'll be all right.
Are you still coming to watch this afternoon?
Oh, yes, of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world. What, so she got so upset with her parents that she torched the factory and then got caught in the flames. PJ, she's not that sort of a kid.
Well, we'll know more when they've gone through the rubble, eh?
Right now, all we know for sure is that the girl is missing.
I just can't see her leaving a bike at the factory, especially if she's trying to get away from them.
Let's hope she did.
This was all I had, nothing more recent.
Yeah, no idea of school friends or where she might be?
Doesn't seem like there's been much time for the poor kid.
All right. Let's see if we can get any sightings. How'd you get on?
No sign of a body. Good. Arson has confirmed that the fire was deliberately lit. Whoever did it didn't try and hide it.
More like a kid than a professional.
Well, the security guards do the rounds every 2 hours. They check the premises 40 minutes before the fire broke out.
So anyone that knows the routine would know the window of opportunity.
I'd say so, but would Amy?
All right, we'll just give us a call.
Well, we've talked to the Fordhams. Let's have a chat with Megan Hutton, eh?
Amy and I used to be close.
Yes, she told me.
Kids always get caught in the crossfire, don't they? Where marriages go wrong.
Then you left the factory around 6?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Look, there's still no news at all about Amy.
No, they're still checking.
We'll have a good idea by the end of the day.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, what was she doing out there at that time of night?
We're all asking the same question, Miss Hutton.
Last night, were you the last to leave?
Yeah, me and Don, we locked up.
There was no sign of Amy at the factory?
No. Everyone had left.
Do you think it's possible that Claire Fordham could have started the fire at the factory?
Claire. What kind of a question is that?
Well, do you believe that she is capable of it?
Well, she doesn't seem to care about the place anymore. Orders are dropping off and... Don is a creative. He's not an entrepreneur, and Claire was the one who held it all together. But you're not thinking that she would have...
No, our inquiries are wide open. I'm just interested in your view.
You've come here to ask me this when my daughter's missing. Oh, I don't believe this.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Fordham, but we do have to ask the question. You have been known to be impulsive.
You think that I would set fire to the factory to get at him? Oh, look, the boat, that was one thing. That was just simply to prove a point.
Why not the factory? I mean, your husband wasn't going to give in.
I wouldn't do that. Look, that's not just my work. My life's blood is in that place, and his.
Mrs. Fordham, you can see how this looks. Between you and your husband, you've gone a long way towards destroying your daughter's life, so what's a factory compared to that?
I don't care about the factory. I don't care about Don or how much he wants. I just want you to find my daughter.
So, what have we got?
Amy's photo's been circulated. No one remembers seeing her get on a bus or train, and we haven't had any other sightings.
No signs of a body, but they still haven't finished going through the building yet.
So it looks like the little girl holds the key.
No, I haven't. Is that right? OK, thanks for that. Emma's not at school. She didn't come back after lunch. She could have come home for some reason. Do you mind if I...
Yeah, of course.
Emma Stewart, what is going on?
Nothing.
Why are you not at school?
I'm going back now.
Stay there. Did something happen?
No.
What's this? You're planning a weekend away. What's in here?
Stuff.
Stuff.
It's for school, for my presentation.
Emma, don't lie to me. You're a shocking liar.
I can't tell, I promise.
What's all this? Right. I think it's time you told me what's going on.
It's for Amy. She came round when I was getting ready for school and knocked on my bedroom window.
Why didn't you say anything?
I promised I wouldn't, and we knew you'd find her if she stayed. That's why we decided on this place. I just wanted to help Amy.
I know, you did the right thing. You've got a big heart, Emma Stewart, and I'm very proud of you, but in future I want you to think first and you come and see me, OK?
Would you have helped her?
Yeah, you heard me promise and I keep my promises. Right, Emma, where is she?
I don't know.
Emma, don't push it. You tell me where she is. Amy, thank God. You all right?
Would you leave me alone?
OK, come on, do you want to get out of there?
No.
Oh, you must be starving. Come on. Look, Emma's got some drink here for you. Come on. All right, you're all right.
Are you okay, Amy? I just need to get away, you know?
Yeah, it's a bit of a dramatic way to do it, though, Amy.
You told them.
Did you light the fire?
Emma.
Is that what they think? They can't help themselves. Dad mentioned Megan's name and Mum just went nuts.
And so you ran away?
Well, I couldn't stay there and listen to that anymore.
And this was about 8:30?
I don't know, I guess so.
Now, where'd you go?
Nowhere much. I slept at a shed at school and then came round to see Emma this morning.
Oh. What were you doing in the meantime?
Hanging around.
The factory?
No.
Amy, we found your bike at the factory.
Do you want to tell us what's going on?
I wasn't doing anything.
Amy, hey, you were there. Amy, did you light the fire at the factory?
No! Why would I do something like that?
It'd be a good way to get back at your mum and
Oh,
dad.
yeah, by wrecking everything they'd ever worked
But
for.
you were there.
I don't want to be here.
Amy, listen, we're not trying to trip you up here, OK? But it's pretty hard for us to believe that you went to the factory for no reason. Now, I don't know what the truth is, but we can't do anything to help you until you tell us everything that you know.
My mum said Dad was ripping off the company. I thought that if I could go in and wipe all the accounts off the computers, then he wouldn't get into trouble.
Did you?
No, they changed the password.
Did you light the fire?
No, I didn't get a chance to do anything
Before what? What happened? What happened, Amy?
Nothing. Fire.
Which you didn't light?
No!
But what, you saw the person who did?
Look, there was smoke everywhere. I just wanted to get out. I didn't say anything.
Jode, do you want to keep an eye on our guest?
Yeah,
Did you get anywhere?
Well, she says that she didn't light the fire.
Well, the evidence says she did.
Yeah, I think that she's covering for someone, maybe her mum. See, the girl is being torn apart by all this fighting. Everything that she does is aimed at keeping the peace, protecting one or both of her parents.
She's the only one we can place at the scene of the fire.
Yeah. I just don't believe that she did it.
And I can understand you sticking up for your own kid, but that kid in there is a suspect in an arson case.
Mr. and Mrs. Fordham.
Where's that little girl? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's fine. There's nothing to worry about.
Oh, can we see her?
Yes, you can. We'd just like to have a word with you first, Mrs. Fordham. Just alone, thanks. Straight through here, please.
Amy says she left home around 8:30 last night.
Yeah, but I've already told you that. She went out.
You didn't check to see if she'd come home?
because by the time I got home, it was all
Sorry, did you go out last night?
Yes, I did.
What time was that?
I don't know, about 10-ish, I think.
Where did you go?
I went to see Megan. After the argument. Upsetting Amy, I just felt ashamed. I wanted to see if I could work something out.
Did you?
No. Not possible, really. Not when the only thing I wanted was to have Don back. I wouldn't hate him so much now if I hadn't loved him so deeply all those years. I guess I just forgot about it.
So you went to Megan Hutton's?
I can see why he would choose her. She's quite like me 15 years ago. Faced with her, I felt like such a fool.
You said that you got home after midnight. Where did you go after Megan's?
I don't know, walked around, drove about a bit.
Did you go anywhere near the factory?
No.
You sure about that?
I didn't burn the factory.
You see, I think that Amy's withholding something, and it could be that she saw someone else there.
What, so that makes me an arsonist?
Well, you did burn the bolt of fabric. It's
No,
not
I
a big
didn't.
set. Beg your pardon?
Nothing, nothing.
Well, you just said you didn't burn the fabric. Well, what are you covering for Amy?
No, I... She was just trying to make us see some sense. We were so caught up.
Well, when the fabric didn't work, she burnt the factory.
Darling. Amy, please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We thought we'd lost you. You've got to promise us never to do anything like this ever again.
But we have to promise as well.
What's the point? You break all your promises and it just makes everything worse.
Oh, Amy, please, we can go home and talk.
No, I'm not going home with you.
Come on, Amy.
No, either of you. Leave me alone. If you make me go back there, I'll run away again.
Amy, no one's going to make you do anything.
Amy, whatever you've done, whatever's happened, we forgive you.
You forgive me.
There's a big slab of time that Claire can't account for.
Did you check her story about seeing Megan Hutton?
Oh, yeah. The conversation happened all right. There was a slangy match and Claire stormed out.
When was that?
That was just before 10:30.
An arson fixed the time the fire started for just after that.
Puts Claire in the frame.
You know, I'd like to talk to Amy again before we move on this. Amy, we need to have another talk about what happened last night. Now, I don't blame you for being angry with me. Emma is really dirty on me too.
It's because you make promises that you don't keep.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, honestly. I don't know what else I can say.
Mum didn't burn that material.
Yes, we know.
I didn't mean to cause trouble. It just seemed like a good way of getting at them.
Mm-hmm.
It was Dad's best design, Mum's best deal. Pretty dumb, eh?
Oh, well.
So, maybe I burnt the factory down.
No, I don't believe that you did. And you know what? I'm not going to let you take the blame for something that you didn't do. So, Amy, tell me. Did you see someone at the factory last night?
No.
You sure?
I heard something. So I went to look, but the place was just full of smoke.
Right, so what'd you do?
I went and opened a window, but it just made the fire even worse. So I tried to get out as fast as I could, but I couldn't get to my bike.
Right. And then did you see someone?
I saw something.
What? What'd you see?
I think it's my mum's.
Did you buy this recently?
Don bought it for me when I got back from Japan. It's for all my hard work. Probably to ease his conscience, I would think.
Hey, PJ.
Yeah?
I think I got something here, mate. Have a look at this. That check there's made out to Pearson's the jewellers. And when you look at the butt...
Office furniture. Come on, Jack, about bloody time. Give jewellery place a ring, will you? All right. Look, is this guy going to be so stupid he's going to buy the same watch for his wife and his girlfriend?
Well, why have you brought me in here?
You wearing a watch? Is that new?
I've had it a while.
So you haven't lost a watch? Very expensive watch?
No.
What about the one that Mr. Fordham gave you?
I don't know what you mean.
The one from Pearson's Jewellers.
I lost that weeks
You
ago.
didn't lose it last night at the factory?
No.
Miss Hutton, we know that this is your watch. Amy found it last night at the factory, and she is taking the blame for the fire.
I thought without the factory that Don could have been creative again. Could have made a fresh start. I did not know Amy was there. I would never do anything to harm her. I just
Did you
wanted
light
it
the
all to
fire
stop.
at the Fordham factory?
Yes.
Megan Hutton, you'll be charged with arson. I must inform you, you're not obliged to say I'll do anything, as anything you say I'll do may be given evidence. Understand?
Megan.
Donna, I'm sorry.
What's going on?
I only did it because I love you.
It's not enough that you ruined our marriage. You got to burn down our factory as well?
Come on, Miss Hutton, please.
Will she get bail?
Well, it'll probably cost a bit.
What do I need to do?
She'll be escorted to St David's.
I suggest that you meet her there.
Before you go, Mr. Fordham, your daughter, Amy, she's waiting for you.
I want us back the way we all were.
Amy, you saw us try to stay together, sweetheart. It just tore us apart.
That's because you wouldn't... We're going to sort it out, Amy.
Please, Amy, I want you to come home.
Give it a go. Eric, thanks for your help.
Did you get it sorted, Betty?
Not really, no.
Domestics, eh?
Oh, tell me about it.
I told you not to get involved.
Yeah, I know, I didn't mean to, not to that extent. I just felt sorry for the poor girl, you know? It wasn't her fault.
So what are they going to do, split up?
Well, I think they're going to try and patch things up.
You kidding?
No, I think so, for Amy's sake.
Oh, it didn't look like a good prospect from where I was sitting.
No. They're all going to head back to Melbourne. There's not much to keep them here anymore.
Well, what about this fraud thing I'm investigating?
Ah, you lucked out there. Mrs. Fordham has withdrawn a statement.
He was cooking the books.
Yeah, I know, presents for the girlfriend. You really want to pursue that?
No.
I think he's been punished.
That's the old story, eh? Two's company?
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's no love there anymore, it's better just to go your separate ways.
Yes, maybe. Sometimes it's hard to tell when that point's been reached, though.
Is it?
Oh, well, that was my experience.
Suppose I'd like things to be clear-cut. That I'd have the decency to walk away.
Yes, if only life was that simple. But it's not, especially when there are kids involved. We've always got to put them first. Always. Emma, presentation, I've got to go.
And when all this is done, it can take years and years before the colony of ants can produce its first generation, which can start producing again. But what I think is really sad is after the queen ant has laid her eggs, she spends the rest of her life inside and never flies again. Thank you.
Accident report? I thought you said you'd done your paperwork.
Then I'm 100.
Maggie, how did it go?
They cleared me of all responsibility for the accident.
Foregone conclusion.
Well, I suppose I had to go through the motions.
That's good news. You'd be happy to have it over and done with, eh?
Oh, thanks, boss. They made it as easy as they could.
Well, they proved the other guy was on the wrong side of the road and out of control. I mean, I don't even know why you had to be put on the rack at all.
Anyway, let's just drop it, shall we?
Think she's okay? Oh, bet you're glad that's over. Now you can leave it behind.
Unfortunately, it isn't that simple.
Well, it has to be. I mean, you did your job. I was sitting right next to you and there was nothing that you could do to avoid that accident.
All those people dead.
We saved more people than we lost.
Yeah,
It's all right, here you go.
Hey, Mags.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Sorry.
Hey, Em.
Oh, hello, Princess. How are you?
Is Amy here yet?
No, she's not coming today. She's coming tomorrow, remember?
Who's Amy? Friend from school?
She teaches me.
Oh, yuck, teachers.
No, not this one. Amy is 13 and she's a great tutor, isn't she?
Yeah. And she's going to show me how to draw a Queen Anne this big for my presentation. Anyway, I'll need some more coloured pencils.
What do you mean? You've got hundreds of the things.
Amy!
The door was open. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure, it's fine. I just thought you had something else on today. Your parents know you're here? Right. Look, I'll give them a quick ring, just let them know where you are.
No. I'm not going back there. I hate them. I never want to see them again.
Okay.
All I want, Claire, is a fair settlement.
What's going on?
You stay here, please.
What's so
You
Amy?
just do what I say.
Give me that, Claire.
You
Give
want
to
it?
me.
Have it!
Right. Yeah, go on. Smash it. Smash every bloody thing. Mr. and Mrs. Fordham. Mr. and Mrs. Fordham. Broken. Like our marriage. Been broken for years, only you didn't wake up.
Well, I'm awake now.
Give me that, Claire. That is mine. I paid for it. I want it.
Of course it
That's
is.
enough.
Silly me!
You are a complete bitch.
Perfect bastard. Only nobody's perfect.
This girl is hurt.
What?
Do you have any idea what you're doing?
Here, Amy, you let me...
Get away from me! She doesn't want you, you cold-hearted bitch. Come on, darling.
No! Oh, Daddy lost his magic touch, has
At
he?
least I've always been there for her.
Yes, and I've been there for you.
When? When
Oh,
was the last
please,
time
every
you were
time
here
you've
for
ever gone
me?
anywhere.
Mr. and Mrs. Fordham, that's enough.
Here, I'll
Get
take care of
away!
you.
No, I'll take care of her.
What?
Look, your daughter has just been injured as a direct result of your actions. Now, I intend to remove her from this situation.
You can't do that.
Actually, sir, yes, I can. Amy, come with me.
Oh, Amy, you look like you've been in the wars.
Mum got me with the vase.
I was just about to grab a snack, Amy. Do you want to grab something? We've got some bickies and some Milo over here.
So where are the parents now?
Oh, they're at home. I had to take her to hospital.
What are you proposing to do?
Well, actually, I'd like to contact the DHS and apply for a protection application.
Why not?